Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. I am so incredibly thrilled you're joining me because today we are diving into a genuinely charming, kawaii-style fairy tale. Now we're talking bright colors, adorable characters, and a very classic adventure. But listen, don't let the cute packaging fool you. This story, The Flower Girl and the Prince, is actually a masterclass in tackling seemingly impossible challenges. We're going to unpack this whole tale of courage step by step and look at how bravery isn't always about brute force. Sometimes it's about something much, much more clever. So let me ask you something to kick things off. If I asked you right now, how do you defeat a scary demon? Your mind probably jumps straight to a massive, sharp sword, right? Or maybe a magical shield or an entire army. But what if the answer is a tiny little bell? This perfectly sets up the magical mystery we're looking at today. We're pitting the ultimate symbol of terrifying power against the ultimate symbol of fragile innocence. Keep this contrast in the back of your mind as we go because it totally changes everything we know about classic hero stories. Chapter 1. A Plea for Help. You know, every great adventure starts when normal life gets completely turned upside down. Our brave prince is just having a peaceful day when an old woman walks right up to him, and she does not mince words. She says, "Our Flower Queen's daughter, the Flower Girl, is being held captive by a demon. You rescue her, Prince." Bam. Just like that, the stakes go from 0 to 100. The Flower Girl, Fulkamari, has been kidnapped by a terrifying demon. The prince agrees to help without hesitation, but he can't exactly go empty-handed. Before he heads off, the old woman gives him a parting gift. She hands him this simple, tiny bell and says, "Prince, keep this. It will come in handy in times of trouble." It's such a wildly understated moment. Here is a prince heading off to face a hulking demon, and his primary weapon is a small bell. But he accepts the quest, and he accepts the gift. He completely trusts the wisdom of his elders, simply pockets the bell, and gets moving. And things move incredibly fast on his journey. We're talking hour 1, he meets the old woman and gets the bell. Hour 2, while rushing toward danger, he bumps into a mysterious old man who gives him some seriously weird advice. And by hour 3, he is already arriving at the demon's stable. The momentum here is just fantastic. It shows us that real courage often requires immediate, decisive action. Chapter 2. The Perfect Disguise. Okay, so our prince makes it to the demon's lair in record time, but he's got a major problem. He can't just knock on the front door and ask for Fulkamari back. He needs a clever strategy. Remember that old man from hour 2? Well, here is his brilliant, completely absurd advice. "Prince, you will dress up as a stallion and go to the demon and tell him that you have come to look after his horse." I mean, I love this. It's a ridiculously silly, horse-themed disguise. The old man basically tells him to put on a kawaii stallion suit and walk right up to the demon. And the best part? The prince actually listens. So, let's break down this sneaky master plan. Step 1, wear the stallion suit. You gotta commit to the bit, right? Step 2, gain the demon's trust by literally walking up to him and saying, "Oh Lord, I have come as your stallion." Step 3, use that trust to infiltrate the stable where the flower girl is being kept. And step 4, grab the demon's real horse and make a run for it. He's totally relying on cleverness over combat here. And honestly, the craziest part? It actually works. Because the prince's clothes look so much like a horse, the demon completely falls for it. He trusts the disguise and opens the stable doors. The suspense in this moment must have been off the charts. One wrong move, one weird noise, and it's game over. But the prince plays it perfectly, proving that sometimes sheer audacity is your best camouflage. Chapter 3. The Great Escape. So the infiltration is a success, the stable doors are open, and the prince finally locates Fulkamari. But getting in was only half the battle. Now they have to get out. And talk about adding insult to injury. Not only does the prince rescue the flower girl, but he nails step 4 of the plan. He steals the demon's very own prized horse for their getaway. They go galloping away, freedom just on the horizon. But of course, the demon realizes he's been tricked. And the demon is furious. He comes charging after them, and this is where the tension hits its absolute peak. Think about this matchup. On one side, you have the threat, a huge, fierce, incredibly angry demon chasing them down. And on the other side, their only defense is that tiny magic bell the old woman gave him back in hour 1. It is the ultimate David and Goliath scenario, a giant monster against a little jingle bell. With the terrifying demon closing in, the prince realizes he has to focus 100% on steering the stolen horse. He can't fight and drive at the same time, so he hands the little bell to the flower girl. He says, "Polkamari, I am making the horse run. You keep ringing this bell." I absolutely love the teamwork here. The prince empowers Polkamari. He hands over the critical tool for their survival, trusting her completely in this high-pressure, do-or-die moment. And man, she rings it. Ring, ring, ring. With the monster literally on their heels, she takes that tiny bell and shakes it with everything she's got. She doesn't freeze or panic, she just focuses entirely on the one task she's been given. The sound of this tiny bell just starts echoing out over the galloping hooves. And this is where the magic kicks in. The bell doesn't shoot fireballs or create some giant force field. Instead, it targets the demon directly. It makes his head dizzy. The ringing frequency completely disorients the massive monster. He stumbles, he loses his balance, and his head is spinning so much that he physically cannot chase them anymore. That tiny, unexpected gift became their ultimate weapon. Thanks to the dizzying magic of that bell and their incredible teamwork, the demon is left stumbling around in the dust. The prince and Polkamari ride off into the distance totally safe. She is officially freed from the demon's clutches. It is a massive victory that relies completely on brains, trust, and just a little bit of magic instead of sheer muscle. Chapter 4: The Power of Courage. So we've had fun with this kawaii-style adventure, but what can we actually learn from it? The text actually spells out the explicit moral lesson right at the end. It states, "Victory will come if you face any problem with courage." Now, on the surface, sure, that sounds like a standard fairy tale ending. But if we really look at what we just explored, we realize that courage in this tale isn't just about swinging a sword. It's way more dynamic than that. Think about it. The prince showed us so many different types of bravery. Courage was answering a stranger's plea for help immediately. Courage was trusting the bizarre wisdom of elders, literally putting on a ridiculous stallion suit because he believed it would work. Courage was facing a terrifying monster with a clever disguise instead of a weapon. And finally, courage was staying completely calm under pressure and trusting Polkamari to ring that bell. That is a multifaceted, really mature version of courage. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this final thought. The prince didn't win because he was the strongest. He won because he used the tools he had, he leaned on others, and he faced the problem head-on. So ask yourself, what is your magic bell when you need to find your courage? When a giant, demon-sized problem is chasing you down, what small, unexpected tool or skill can you rely on to make your escape? Think about that today. Thanks so much for joining me, and hey, keep ringing your bell.